Good morning, children. I am Aarti. I'm here to explain the poem Rain on the Roof by Coates Kinney. So, first and foremost, let me say a few words about the poet Coates Kinney. He was born on November 24, 1826. He was a poet from United Kingdom. He was also a politician and journalist. He died on January 25th, 1904. So let us move to the poem, children. The first stanza. When the human shadows hover over all the starry spheres, and the melancholy darkness gently weeps in rainy tears. Oh, what a bliss to breast the pillows of a cottage chamber bed, and lie listening to the patter of the soft rain overhead. I'll read it once more, children. When the humid shadows hover over all the starry spheres, and the melancholy darkness gently weeps in rainy tears. What a bliss to press the pillows of a cottage chamber bed, and lie listening to the patter of the soft rain overhead. Let me explain the first stanza to you, students. When the humid means clouds full of moisture, that is damp clouds full of water. Shadows hover, move around. Hover means move around. When the humid shadows hover over all the starry spheres. Starry spheres here is referred to sky full of stars. Starry spheres means sky full of stars. And the melancholy darkness. Melancholy means sad, sad darkness. So here the poet refers to dark night, sad and dark night. Gently weeps. Weeps means crying. So cry. The sad darkness of the sky is starting to cry in rainy tears. So here the poet refers to the rain as tears of the dark night sky. What a bliss! Bliss means happiness. To press the pillow in sense to lie on a pillow. So here the poet says he is very happy to lie on a pillow at this dark night when the damp clouds, when the moisture filled clouds are hovering over the starry sky. Of a cottage chamber. Chamber means room. Here the cottage chamber is referred to the bedroom. Bed. Of a cottage chamber bed, and lie listening to the patter. Patter means the sound of raindrops falling on the roof. So he says that is happy to lie on a pillow in a cottage bedroom listening to the pattering sound. Pattering sound means the drops of rain falling on the roof of the soft rain overhead. So let us move to the second stanza, students. Every tinkle on the shingles has an echo in the heart, and 1,000 dreamy fancies into busy being start, and 1,000 recollections weave their air threads into woof. As I listen to the patter of the rain upon the roof. Once again, I read the lines, children. Every tingle on the shingles has an echo in the heart, and 1,000 dreamy fancies into busy being start, and 1,000 recollections weave their air threads into woof, as I listen to the patter of the rain upon the roof. Let me explain the stanza 2 to you, children. Every tingle. Tingle means a short, light, ringing sound. So, on the shingles. Shingles here refers to a rectangular wooden tiles used on roofs. used on roofs. So here the poet says about the tingling sound which the raindrops make on the rectangular wooden tiles of the roofs. Has an echo. Echo means repeated sound in the heart. Echo means repeated sound in the heart. And 1,000 dreamy fancies into busy being start. And 1,000 recollections. Recollections means memories. Weave their threads into woof. Weaving means a handloom, the like weaving a clothes. So all the memories and the dreams were weaving together like threads woven over the handloom. The threads woven across the loom. So here the poet refers that the dreamy fancies, there's so many dreams and thousands of recollections, memories are like weaving in the handloom, come across like weaving in the handloom. As I listen to the patter, patter means sound of raindrops falling on the roof, of the rain upon the roof. So let us move to the third stanza, children. Now in the memory comes my mother, as she used in years agone to regard the darling dreamers. Era, she left them till the dawn. Oh, I feel her fond look on me as I list to this refrain, which is played upon the shingles by the patter of the rain. Once again, I'll read the lines, children. Now in the memory comes my mother, as she used in years agone to regard the darling dreamers. Era, she left them till the dawn. Oh, I feel her fond look on me as I list to this refrain, which is played upon the shingles by the patter of the rain. Let me explain the lines, children. Now in memory comes my mother. So when the poet is lying in the darkness in the rainy night, he remembers his mother as she has used in years agone. Years agone means now the mother was not with the poet, but she is in the past. He remembers her in the past. In times of darling dreams. Darling dreams means when he was in childhood, how his mother was there, all the things he remembers. Era. Era is an old poetic word used for before. So she left them till dawn. Dawn means daybreak, that is early morning. So she let him sleep till the daybreak, and he was enjoying the darling dreams. So he remembered his mother, how his mother let him to sleep till the daybreak, that is till when the sun rises. Oh, I feel her fond look on me. Fond in sense is love. So he refers that till he wonders that his mother is still looking on her, still she has the lovable look on him. As I list is an old poetic word used for listen to this refrain. Refrain here, when you see refrain, is the meaning of a repeated part of a song or a poem. But here the poet refers to the sound of the rain. So you know already, children, that here the only poem, the main theme of the poem is the sound of the rain. So here refrain refers to the sound of the rain, which is played upon the shingles by the patter of the rain. So I hope, children, you understood the explanation of the poem, that is in 3 stanzas. Now let us move to the literary devices. I'll explain when paragraph wise. So let us move to the first stanza, and first of all let us see about the rhyming scheme of the first paragraph. When the humid shadows hover, let us see the rhyming words. First line, hover. Second, spheres. Third, darkness. Fourth, tears. Fifth, pillow, sixth bed, seventh patter, and eighth overhead. When you see the rhyming schemes over here, you see the first line hover, second line spheres, third line darkness, fourth line tears. So here the second line and the fourth line spheres and tears are rhyming. So we denote it with the same letter B and B. And coming to the fifth line, pillow, bed. So pillow in the fifth line and sixth line bed, seventh line patter and eighth line head. So here the sixth line and the eighth line are rhyming. So we denote it with the same letter as E. So the rhyming scheme of the first stanza is A, B, C, B, D, E, F, E. Next is the instance of using the alliteration. Alliteration means a sound of a consonant used in consecutive words. So let us see what are the words using these consonant sounds. In the first line you see humid, hover. So her sound is repeated. Next line, second line is starry spheres. So starry S and spheres, both the S sound is repeating. Coming up to the fifth line, press pillow. Per sound is repeated. And in the seventh line, lie, listen. L sound is repeated. So alliteration is an instance of using a sound of consonants, repeated sounds of consonant in consecutive words. So next type, one of the most important literary device used in the first stanza is personification. Personification is, what does personification means? Referring a person, that is person with a non-living thing. Here melancholy darkness. Melancholy darkness means sad night. So weeps. Weeps is a word used to refer to the people. So here darkness is personified. Next literary device used in this first stanza is onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia means that usage of sound words. Here patter is a word used to refer a sound. Next literary device explained over here is transferred epithet. Transferred epithet means here in third and fourth lines you can see melancholy darkness. Melancholy darkness doesn't refers to the darkness but it refers to the people. So here melancholy darkness, this is the instance of transferred epithet. Then moving to the second stanza, let us first look upon the rhyming scheme of this stanza. First line shingles, second line heart, third line fancies, fourth line start. So here the second and fourth line heart and start are rhyming. So fifth line recollections, sixth line woof, seventh line patter, eighth line roof. So again sixth and eighth line are rhyming woof and roof. So the same rhyming scheme overcomes here also, same like the stanza 1. A, B, C, B, D, E, F, E. Next, let us look upon the alliterations. So here in fourth line, busy being, B sound is repeated. Then in the sixth line, their threads, the sound is repeated. And in the eighth line, rain, roof, R sound is repeated. Then again we come upon the onomatopoeia, that is sound words. Here the first line you can see tingle and seventh line you can see patter. Next we come upon personification. Here when you see in the fifth and sixth line, and 1,000 recollections weave their air threads into woof. Recollections refers to the memories that the poet has thousands of memories which are weaving. Weaving is a word used to do an action, that is weave clothes. So here memories are personified. Next we come to the next literary device, transferred epithet. So here, dreamy fancies. Here, actually, the poet doesn't mean that dreamy fancies. Fancies are not dreamy, but the people are dreamy. So here, the instance of transferred epithet is dreamy fancies. That is dreamy people. Next, let us move to the third stanza. First and foremost, we'll see the rhyming scheme. The same rhyming scheme is repeated in the third stanza also. The first line, mother. Second, agone. Third line, dreamers. Fourth line, dawn. So here the second, agone, and fourth, dawn are rhyming. So it is referred with the same alphabet B. Next, coming to the fifth line, me. Sixth line, refrain. Seventh line, shingles. And eighth line, rain. So here again the sixth line and the eighth line, that is refrain and rain, are rhyming. So it is denoted with the same letter E. So here the rhyming scheme is A, B, C, B, D, E, F, E. Next, we look upon the alliteration, the instance of alliteration in the third stanza. Memory, mother, my. So, mer sound is repeated. Third line, darling, dreams. D sound is repeated. So, again, the last literary device is onomatopoeia. That is the sound words. Last line, eighth line, patter, which denotes the sound of the rain. So, children, we come to the end of the session, and I hope you understood the poem and enjoyed the video session also. Thank you.